Yes, I can.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Good evening, ladies. A hearty welcome to this evening's webinar program. The speaker is Shamala Prasanna. Srimati Shamala Prasanna, you all know, is the past president of our club, Innovate Club of Mysore West. She is an avid gardener. She has been participating in the Dasra garden competitions held by the Horticulture Department of Mysore for last 25 years and has won. Every year she's been winning the first prize for the best home garden. She has won outstanding garden awards and rolling sheets. She has bagged many awards for dolls to display in the garden, where she has created Chinatown, typical Indian village, a forest, Christmas corner, etc. Her garden is featured every year in Star of Mysore during Dasara. Bonsai is a hobby and passion. She has attended many international bonsai conventions and has learned from world-class bonsai masters. Her main hobbies are gardening, music, and healthy cooking that keep her busy and happy 24 into 7. You all know what a dynamic, enthusiastic, energetic lady she is. So please extend a hearty welcome to Mrs. Shamala Prasanna, and let's now hear her on this webinar. Thank you very much. Shamala, over to you.
Thank you, Chaya. Very good evening to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank our club president Chaya and secretary Shweta for giving me an opportunity to share whatever little knowledge I have gained about growing microgreens at home without using soil. So I would like to, before starting the explanation on what the microgreens are and everything, I would like to tell you all, please keep yourselves in mute mode, and if you have any doubts or any questions, you can just type in the chat box, and Chaya will read it out to me at the end of the program. So if I know the answers, I will definitely try to answer them. And so I think we'll start on the microgreens now. So what are microgreens? Microgreens, you know, they are pretty much relatively a very new concept in India. For those who haven't heard about microgreens, let me first explain what they really are and why we need them. Microgreens are powerful superfoods. Actually, they are real superfoods that are highly nutritious with high level of phytonutrients, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals and enzymes. They are considered as functional foods. They are 40 times more nutritious than the regular foods. You know, we grow them to a very small size, like when the seed germinates and only 3-4 leaves come, we harvest them, cut them and eat. And that is the best time to eat the greens. So it's like eating one whole bunch of greens. Just a handful if you eat, it's like eating one whole bunch of greens. So now let us now see what all seeds we can grow. So you may all think what seeds can be grown to microgreens. These are the seeds which are readily available in the market, and you will definitely even have them at home. But make sure that they are non-chemical treated organic seeds and no hybrid seeds, absolutely. So the seeds we can use are mustard, methi or fenugreek, flax seeds, chia, broccoli, cauliflower, amaranthus, radish, sunflower, turnips, peas, even peas can be grown, lettuce and everything. So whatever vegetable you eat, those seeds, if they are available, if you want to grow them in the garden, you bring them and make them into microgreens and eat them fresh. Eat the fresh leaves, not broccoli or cauliflower, but the leaves of the plants. So now, what are the methods or media that we use for sowing the seeds for microgreens? There are three methods. I mean, easy methods. Of course, using soil is okay. I think you all know how to put the seeds in the soil and all that. So without soil, if you want to grow microgreens, you can use the paper towel as the media. Paper towel or the tissue. And the second one is you can use coco peat. And the third method is hydroponic medium. So the best part of this is you can grow the microgreens on your desktop or kitchen slab, and it takes about 10 to 15 days to grow. You just start them in the small boxes which you can get when you order food from the restaurants or buy vegetables and fruits in the supermarkets, like these. You must have seen these, something like this. And these are the vegetable trays and whatever like this, any disposable plastic containers you can use to grow the microgreens. So they should have the holes, but if there are no holes already in the containers, just make the holes in the bottom for the drainage of water. So what are the other requirements? See, watering is very important. Correct watering should be there. You just spray water. You cannot pour water because they are very delicate. So overwatering may cause mold formation. So you should carefully water them with the spray. And the second one is sunlight. Actually, we keep the seeds sown in the container for the first 3 days in dark place till they germinate. Because you must have seen the seeds that we grow on the ground, in the ground in our garden, they'll be covered totally with the mud. But when they germinate, the seeds, the stem will come out of the mud towards the sunlight. So here, since we don't have that sand to cover or mud to cover, we have to keep them in the dark. So once you sow them, keep them inside a cupboard for 3 days. So this way, when they do not get, actually they look out for the sunlight when they start germinating. So when they do not get the sunlight, if it is dark, they try to grow longer stems, and thinking that they might get sunlight, they'll grow longer. So allow them to grow to 3 to 4 centimeters long. Of course, they'll be yellow in color as they do not get sunlight. So then you can keep the box in partial sunlight. After 3 days, shift them to partial sunlight on a windowsill or desktop or wherever you get the partial sunlight. But don't keep them in the direct sunlight because they are very delicate. Microgreens are very delicate. So the leaves will turn green once you keep them in the sunlight due to photosynthesis. So indirect sunlight is very important for growing microgreens. And next important factor is air. So good air circulation should be there with enough ventilation. So let's now come to the harvesting part. When do you actually get to harvest and eat them? When you get 2 to 4 leaves, you can harvest them and use in your salad or as toppings on your toast or in pasta or pizza, whatever you like. You can even garnish them in your dishes like you garnish the coriander leaves. And let us now see what are the common problems that will arise. Definitely there will be problems in the beginning. So you will learn by practice and trial and error methods. You will definitely learn. And the common problems that you may face are mold formation. They are due to high humidity, which is if there is no light and if there is no air circulation, then the mold will be formed. And the next problem will be root rot. That is due to overseeding. If this is a container, you put a lot of seeds in it, one overlapping the other, then they will end up, you won't get the sprouts at all. So make sure that you put a single layer of seeds and no overlapping. And of course, the third problem will be overwatering and underwatering. Both are bad. So enough water should be given, and that means a mist of water with a spray, that will be good for the microgreens. So with minimal equipment, you can grow a lot of microgreens at home. The basic setup is a container with holes, any container like this, or any vegetable and fruit containers. And so the soaked seeds, you have to soak the seeds before putting them in the container. And these containers should have holes, and you need coco peat medium or paper towel, and then the seeds which are the soaked seeds which are nicely spread out, and a light mist of water spray, and that's it. And you can grow all sizes of seeds, big seeds, medium seeds and small seeds. So for big seeds you can grow them hydroponic method, and medium seeds with coco peat like methi and wheat and all you can grow with coco peat. And small seeds you can use the tissue and paper towel, like mustard, they're very small. So the main thing is you have to keep them hydrated throughout. Good water retention should be there. And now let's go to the basic harvest process. We grow the microgreens to 3 to 4 centimeters long, so that while harvesting it's easy to cut with the scissors. To cut the wheat grass, which are quite long, we can use the grass shears and cut it to half the length and leave the rest for the next harvest. Only with wheat grass you can harvest 2 to 3 times in the small tray, whereas all the other microgreens, any other microgreens, are only once harvest. Like once you harvest them and once you cut them, you cannot regrow them. So while cutting, you may notice there are the seed hulls stuck to the leaves, which can be carefully brushed off with your hands. And you can use the normal scissors to chop the microgreens. After chopping all the leaves, the leftover part can be recycled in making the compost. So, as you all, with all this explanation, I think you all must be now knowing that micro is small, greens means plants that you can eat. They are sprouted vegetable seeds, nothing but sprouted vegetable seeds. You all must be familiar with the traditional way of sprouting the dals and whole grains. Whenever we make some usli or whatever we make out of the whole grains, we just sprout them overnight, just by, you know the method for sprouting the whole grains. This growing the micro greens is the same, but we eat them fresh and raw. You know, we don't cook them. If you cook them, it will lessen the nutrients. So the best benefits if you want to get is to eat them raw. And you can even store the leaves after cutting in the fridge for about 2 to 3 days in a Ziploc cover. And then it's always better to eat them fresh. So I think I've pretty much told you all about the theory part of the microgreens. I've noted down whatever doubts I had in my mind and then explained everything to you all. So now I'll try to demonstrate how to grow the microgreens. So these are the, actually I've made holes in these I have made holes. Can you see the holes? Small holes I have made. So the other one without holes I have kept, so that I can keep this, the one with the holes. See, there are holes in this. One with the holes, I can keep it on the tray, in this tray without holes, so that the water, if it drains out of the holes, it doesn't spoil your kitchen slab or your desktop or wherever you keep it. So keep some container underneath so that you can keep this one with the holes on that. So let me first show you how you can grow with the paper towel. This is the paper towel that I have taken. See, you just fold it according to the size of the thing. I think 2 folds of this thick paper towel is enough. If you take the tissue paper, I think you may have to fold it 3-4 times. It has to be little thick. So first of all, you have to wet the paper towel with the spray. You can just wet the paper towel and in the container you just put it like this in the base. Okay, so let me put it in the container which has no holes. So first of all, I spray this also. I spray some water into this so that when there are roots formed, it will absorb the water from down. So that since there are holes, it will take the water from the holes. So now this is the mustard seeds that I have soaked in water 2 hours before. Actually, these small seeds you can soak for 2 hours, that's enough. But for the bigger seeds like peas and all, you have to soak for about 8 hours. This is enough for this. So first of all, you just strain the water. Strain the water and then take the seeds like this and just spread it. But make sure that they are not overlapping and not too much. You cannot put too much of seeds so the germination will be very difficult. And it's so easy and you won't believe this is how I have grown. I'll show you the result. 10 days back I put the same amount of seeds in the same way and I'll show you how they have grown. So can you see the seeds all spread out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly we can, clearly it is visible.
It's visible, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
clearly it is visible.
yeah. So what you do is, when you put it in the dark, you put this tray in inside the cupboard for 3 days. But make sure that you keep spraying water. You just have to spray the water.
Daily.
Enough water, but not too much also. Just enough water. Just spray and just every day, morning you spray once, night you spray once and keep it in the dark. And after 3 days, you can see this long, like 3 to 4 centimeters of the stem growing up. Then you bring it to the sunlight. So I'll show you how it has grown in 10 days. See, this is how it grows. The same mustard seeds. Can you see?
Wow, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and I'll show you how to harvest them also. And this is I can show you how they have grown in the tissue. This is the tissue. See how many roots are there, and lots of roots are there. When I cut, I'll show you. When I harvest them, right now it's ready for harvesting. 10 days are over, so enough of leaves, and this is how it grows. And you add them to your salad and eat. They're very tasty. And so this is one method. And then the other method I'll show you with the coco pit. You must all, for those who have not seen the coco pit, this is the coco pit. You get the slab like this. I ordered on Amazon and I got this. And if you soak this in water, in about 10 to 15 minutes, it will take all the water and then you can break it so easily like this. See all this. It becomes like this. Can you see the coco pit? So with this you can grow, no soil absolutely, just the coco peat. So the same way, you put the tissue first, but you put the coco peat here. Make sure that there are no lumps or anything. So just put one till, you have to fill it up. Okay. And then this also I kept a container without holes. What I'll do is, I'll show you the other method also. For this I am using the methi. Methi seeds, which also I have soaked for about 2 hours. I have soaked them for 2 hours. So the methi seeds, you can just strain them. And take the methi seeds. Methi seeds also you should put very lightly, very well spread, and you cannot just crowd it, overcrowd it. See, if there are overlapping seeds, they'll never sprout. So just put them. Just enough for that. There should be space for it to sprout and grow. Okay? So now on this I would like to put one layer of coco peat again to cover it. Can you all see?
Yeah.
Okay. So totally cover them. Don't press them too much. Be very gentle. See, I've covered the seeds totally with a layer of coco peat, and then just spray water. Or I'll do one thing. I'll spray water I'll keep some water in this one, in the tray, and then keep this one, so it will slowly absorb the water from down. So you won't be disturbing the seeds from the top. See, on top you just spray a little bit. If you are very harsh with it, it may fail. The germination may fail. So now what we do is, usually in the ground they will just push the mud and come up. So for that purpose I'll show you one method. So this is the water which is already, it has absorbed. So this is without the holes. You just keep this on top of this. When you keep it in the cupboard, on top of this, and keep one stone or something heavy like this, and just leave it in the cupboard, and then just take care to water them. Spray water for about twice a day or something like that, and then keep watching. Just take it out, just see if there are sprouts coming in. It will just push the tray and come, like it will come out. Since there is no place, they will all start peeping out, and then they'll grow like this. This is methi I've grown in this one. They will grow this tall. See, the stems will grow like this, and the leaves will be yellow because it will be just sprouts. So once you keep them in the sunlight, they'll turn green because of photosynthesis. So then when you get, this is not actually ready for harvesting because I want 2 more leaves to come. There are only 2 leaves, methi leaves. These are fenugreek leaves. So these are the seed hulls. I told you, they'll be sticking to the leaves. So you just have to just brush it, then it will fall. After another 2-3 leaves come, I'll just harvest this one. And this is ready. Now I can keep this in the cupboard. So the same way you can put all the seeds, any kind of seeds. But the bigger seeds you have to make sure that you put one next to the other, not overlapping each other and all that. So I'll just explain to you how the hydroponic method is done. And I want to show you the wheat grass that I've grown in this small
That's fantastic.
container.
Good.
Look at this. It grows like anything. Look at this. Look at the roots. It's so full of roots. This I grew in coco peat. The one.
What is that? Which is that?
This is wheat grass.
Godina. Is it Godi?
Godi.
grass.
Godi hakido. Howದು.
Only.
I just
Godi,
put
howದು.
wheat and this is the thing. I can show you the roots if you want to see how many roots. So full. And you can cut them into half. And again they'll grow. This only with wheat grass but not other seeds. Other microgreens you can use only once. Once it is all done, I'll show you the rest of the roots and things. You don't want to waste them. I'll put them into the compost and that's it. Recycle it. So this is, and in this one, you know, you can do one thing. 10 days it takes for this length to grow, like for
Wow.
harvesting. So one set you can grow for this today if you sow the seeds. And after a week or 8 days, again one more set you can do. So that you will continuously have the crop. See this one, half of it I put methi and half wheat.
Good idea.
So both have come. So the remaining seeds I just put it in this one and it has grown. It is so easy and you will feel so happy once you get them. They're so green and so fresh and nice. Harvest them. Just cut the, you know, this much like this. See? Cut it and then.
You use it for salad, Sudhana?
Huh.
Yeah, you can.
And you
make
can
coconut.
actually, if you want to eat a little more, in salads you cannot eat too much. So if you can make a juice out of all the microgreens and add some lime juice to it and little bit of salt and then drink it. It will be very tasty and you get all the proteins and everything. So see,
Actually, you can eat it raw as well.
you have to eat.
Godi and Tulsi
Godi
Juice.
wheat grass is difficult because you have to make it a juice. You cannot eat it like that. See, this is how you harvest them and there are some seeds in it, seed hulls irutte adralli, so that you can remove later on. So this is how you get lots in this one. You can use it for 2-3 days. So you can eat it right away because you don't even have to wash them. It's grown on the tissue, no mud, no dust or anything. So just eat it. It's very tasty.
So with this, we come to the end of today's webinar. From the depth of my heart, I thank Shamala for enlightening us about this wonderful way of growing microgreens without soil. Because many of us stay in the apartments, it's a real boon that we can develop this type of gardening at our place. So on behalf of Innovate Club of Mysore West, I once again thank you all for joining this meet. It's been very successful. Thank you, Shamla, and we hope to have many more such webinars in future.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you all for watching and
Bye.
thank you for giving me the opportunity to.
Bye and have a nice
Bye.
evening.